Poor little doggy's dead. Oh, I feel so bad. Anyway, guys, welcome back to Let's Play Secret of Evermore. In the last episode, I fought some raptors, and my dog died. But, he won't be dead for long. And he's not really dead, because he's walking around. He's not a zombie dog here. This isn't Earthbound, good lord. It's our first village of the game. Sort of a prehistoric, like, caveman sort of village here. We of the Village of Fire Eyes welcome peaceful visitors. Thank you for protecting us from those nasty raptors. Yeah, I would like to have some nice petals after I burp. You are not one of us. You are not a viper either. You are like Fire Eyes. We're not allowed to wander far from the village. But I've heard about a place where there are a lot of bugs and tar. My father's Strongheart went there days ago and he hasn't come back. How very peculiar. You like my bee? A bee?! His name is Buzz. He'll sting you. Sting? Okay. You'll find alchemy ingredients aplenty if you search the village outskirts, but be careful. The place is packed with creepy creatures. There's always ash by these fire things, sometimes if you look. So, you don't even have to sniff for it. Petals, nectar, and honey. Keep that in mind. Actually, I'd like to find an inn if I could. So go in the houses and check around. You get lots of little supplies here. Water, 2 roots, 4 parts water. Hello, traveler. I'm the source for goods in this village. What can I do for you? Well, I could buy a dog biscuit to bring my dog back to life. But I think I'm actually going to hold off on that because if I want to sleep at the inn, it's going to bring him back anyway. I could probably use one for later, like just as insurance, but for the time being, I'm just going to hold off. Yeah, you're welcome. Please take the grass vest. Alright. Free armor, can't argue with that. So equipping, pretty much the same as in Secret of Mana. You just go into the ring menu. And as you pick up other types of armor, you'll be able to move up and down in the menu to equip them. So, yep. And the dog gets armor too, so eventually you'll pick up a collar for him. But in the meantime, just wander around. You might have also noticed by now that there's really not a lot of music in this game. There's like sort of tribal drum beats. And, you know, ambient sound effects of sounds of nature, like I was saying in Paper Mario. And, you know, at first I didn't really like that, but over the years I've come to appreciate it for what it is. So you can actually sneak off in here in a little secret area. 4 parts clay, found a biscuit. 5 parts ash. Certainly can't argue with that. The person who actually wrote the music for this game, as I read on Wikipedia, had actually... I mean, I guess it was kind of implied that he didn't think video game music was intense enough. Which is kind of surprising that he would say that, considering how this game actually turned out. Now, the thing is that when music does kick in, it actually is pretty intense. But at the same time, it's also... For some reason, I want to say it's like laid back, although that's really not the case. Some of the boss themes, actually, are rather impressive, actually, to be honest. And I just never really appreciated them for what they were, I think. At least not back in the old days, I just didn't notice. I spent so much time focusing on the fact that there was no music in half of the areas. But at the same time, it's like... it just makes the game so much more relaxing, because it's kind of like you're just wandering through and you're really there in the world. Yeah, I'd like to do that. But I'd also like to take your treasure, if you don't mind. Get out of my way. There we go. Finding lots of water. You wouldn't think water would actually be that hard to find, but, well, there you go. Here's the inn. It's another nice thing, when you open treasure chests in this game, it just gives it to you right away. You don't have to stand there and watch your character shake the chest all around and slam it to the ground. So that's yet another way in which this game improves on secretive mana. Now, the music that actually plays when you sleep in an inn is the same music that plays when you get a game over. But on the game over screen, it's in a minor key, and it's slower. So it's actually kind of scary. Now, if you go over here on the east side, moving on up, you actually get an ingredients shop here. 18 talons, 3 parts clay. Found some clay. Nice. Cool. Well, unfortunately, we don't know any alchemy formulas, so we can't really buy ingredients just yet. So that's too bad. Huh, maybe we can learn some somewhere. Anyway. This is the hut of our leader. Please show Fire Eyes your respect. Oh, jeez, what's going on here? This part was always stupid to me for some reason. Something about it is just stupid. Fire Eyes, Fire Eyes. It's just so... It's like the part in Whoopi Goldberg where they're like, praise Jesus, thank the Lord. And then what's even weirder, this girl comes out, and she doesn't look like a caveman at all. She's even got a modern name, Elizabeth. Nintendo Capri Sun is my name. What kind of stupid name is that? I should have called myself Clint Eastwood. Who let this wild beast in here? Oh, that's my dog. He hasn't been himself lately. He says that to like 3 different people, I tell you. What's his name? His name, it's... Oh, so I called out on Twitter yesterday and actually got a lot of interesting suggestions for names. But the one that I liked the best came from somebody who obviously has heard a lot of my stories. And, well, they might have just gotten it from Final Fantasy VI, but in case you didn't know, a long time ago when I was looking for a job, and I couldn't find one, I remember taking the 3-mile walk to Walmart just to put in an application, and on the way home from that walk, I just randomly, this dog started following me. And he was a really nice dog. He was just following me around, so we walked for like a mile together. I have no idea whose dog it was. And then eventually, when I got home, I realized we had cats around the house, and I didn't want to draw him towards that. So I tried to find ways to get rid of the dog. And I discovered that if I threw a stick, he would actually try to go fetch it. So I was trying to throw a stick and then run the other way as fast as I could to get rid of him so he couldn't find me. And eventually I did manage to lose him, but in the time that we did have together, I called him Interceptor. Because I felt a lot like Shadow from Final Fantasy VI in that moment. And, as Captain Leaf Meldrock says in Mars Needs Lumberjacks, I'm ready for anything. Well, as Han Solo says in The Empire Strikes Back, it ain't gonna take him long to figure out what happened to us. Actually, that's A New Hope, my bad. So here Fire Eyes gives us our first formula. This is our first spell of the game. It's called Flash. It uses 1 wax and 2 oil. So every time you cast the spell, you're going to consume 2 of the oils and 1 of the waxes that you found lying around. So as you can see, you know, we've only found so much. There's so many different ingredients that you do find that you can go through them pretty quickly. So, let me see. And now we finally have this on our menu. So we can look at our spells and see what we have. Now, spells level up in a similar way that they did to Secret of Mana 2. So maybe now we can buy ingredients from that guy. Oh, there we go. More ash. You can kiss my ash. Any more ash around here? Nope. Please tell me you sell ingredients. Yes, he does. Alright. So I'm going to want to get pretty much just wax and oil. Because that's the only spell I have, so... Oh. Interesting. Now each time you buy, it's going to increase by 5. but it also tells you on the left how many you currently have. So I'm actually going to buy oil first. Now, it is a little expensive, but as you go out and grind with it, or grind with the spell, you'll be gaining gold, or talons in this case, from the monsters as you grind. Nice. Let's see if we can get our dog leveled up here. So this is the spell. Go here to flash. You can see I can use it twice with my current ingredients, and that didn't really hurt at all, did it? Find anything? There's something down here, don't you? Nope, maybe not. It's hard to tell sometimes, you never really know. I'll be honest, that flash spell is probably my favorite spell in the game. I know that sounds ridiculous because there's so many spells. I really honestly, I think that maybe they might have went a little overboard with the spells in the game. Like, there's just too many of them. There's also too many ingredients. And so it's really hard sometimes to find the ingredients you need for the spell that you want, much less to find a shop that actually sells those specific ingredients. There's a lot of spells in the game that use ingredients that you can't get from anywhere else except like one spot in the game, and so they become like these one-time use spells that you might randomly have to use again, like the pencil eraser in Earthbound. It just comes up later on, and if you don't have the supply, you're going to have to backtrack, you know, and get the spell that you need. And although I didn't mention it, you can also equip a certain number of spells, but only just so many. I can't believe I'm getting as lucky as I am on these guys. Normally these guys are kicking my ass all over the place. They're like overdrive ostrich, they just kick, kick, kick. There we go, Nintendo Capri Sun reaches level 4, and Interceptor reaches level 3, yay! There were some great names suggested. Awakened Calla Lily said I should name him Hooch, and of course we have that whole inside joke of the Tom Hanks doing his shaving at the beginning of the movie. Just getting all up close to the screen and looking left and then right and then left and then right and then left and then right again. It's just crazy, man. So I almost call him Hoot. Somebody suggested Nintendo Capri Sun, which I thought was hilarious. Also Nintendo Capri Dog, which actually was what I was originally going to call him until I decided to ask around for names. I'm not going in there just yet, even though that technically is our next way to go. Kind of like to just try and get some talons grinded up. Nothing spectacular, but you know, just to get, you know, and also my levels. It's not a bad idea to stick around and level up a little bit, because this game is a little hard. There's a bit of a learning curve as you go through the early stages of the game, and especially like a level curve, if that makes any sense, which I know it doesn't. But you'll find yourself early on, like, a lot of times, just not able to do what you want to do because you don't have the supplies or you don't have the money. And spells in this game, well, it does become easier later. As you can see, we're leveling up pretty frequently here, so this is not a huge deal. Look at the dog's already doing 30 damage. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. But here's the interesting thing. Now, remember how in Secret of Mana, you could only level up your spells as far as however many mana seeds you had collected? Well, guess what? In this game, now, well, I hope you're sitting down when you hear this, because it's a little bit shocking. In this game, you can level the spells as far as you want right now. Like, literally, there's no limit. If I wanted to level Flash up to level 8 right now, I could do that. The only issue is, well, you're not going to have the money to buy the ingredients to cast it as many times as it's going to take to level it up that far. However, as your spells grow more powerful, and you can eventually start to multi-target enemies and kill them with one shot of the spell, it does become cost-effective to grind just with the spell and gain enough money from the monsters that you kill to buy the ingredients to go in and out and just keep recasting the spell over and over again against that same group of enemies. And then, once you've gained the money from those enemies, you know, go back and buy the ingredients and do it all over again. So I'm kind of sort of trying to work towards that right now, even though I don't think I really have the money. Well, actually, more important than ingredients right now would be to finish off my armor set, which is also another thing you want to make sure and try to do. We did get that one piece of armor for free. However, there's still a third piece we need to pick up. So let's see, we already have one of that and one of that, so we just need this. And that was the most expensive item on the list, which is ironic that it's the most expensive one, considering that it offers the least defense. Yeah, just one. It's a little ridiculous. And you saw how long it took just to get up the talons to buy that. And that left me with not quite enough money to actually buy any more ingredients. At least no wax and no oil. Now I'm just going after wax and oil for the time being. Like later in the game when you start to get other spells that use other ingredients, you'll be wanting to try to get 99 of all the available ingredients. But on this playthrough, I think for the first time I'm going to try to just remember what ingredients I need for what spells and only get those ingredients, instead of constantly trying to, you know, buy more ingredients to learn more spells. But you can see already, just even this early in the game, you can see how grinding would become very tedious and very time-consuming. All the while, I'm also building up my weapon level here. As you see, I'm at 45%. So every monster I kill is another 1%. And once we get that to level 2, we can charge it up and unleash a level 2 attack. Just like we did in Secret of Mana. Hopefully I don't sound too, like, bored or anything, because I've heard some people say I sound kind of bored in my LPs lately, and I think that's a product of me reacting to, like, because all it takes is, like, that one comment. There's always that one comment that you remember hearing, and everything you do is, like, based around that comment from then on or something. And I think I remember a comment from somebody saying that I had gotten a little too, like that I was faking enthusiasm or something, so I thought, well, it's better to just go back to being mellow like I was in the old days, and so I hope that, like, it doesn't seem like I'm faking being mellow or something. I don't know if there's a way to do that. If anything, I feel more mellow when I play this game, though, just because of... Oh, you got something? Roots, yeah. Roots are good. Roots will be used in the heal spell that we'll learn a little later. I think there's something down here, too, actually. I've already got it. Whatever. So do we have enough to get another stock of, like, wax or something? You cast that spell a couple more times. You only have to cast the spell 10 times to level it up the first time. So, 5 for 120, yeah, I'll take it. Too bad we can't sell ingredients. Then again, you probably wouldn't want to do that. So we're not really accomplishing much in this video, but at the same time, I feel like I don't want to... I mean, I don't know, it's like, it's tempting to, like, edit stuff out, yet at the same time, I'm constantly, like, explaining stuff. And as you can see, as I'm going through here, my damage is getting better. And so is the dog's. You can actually play as the dog if you want. Just press select, and now I'm controlling the dog. And now the computer controls my player, and he goes crazy. I think the computer's probably better at controlling the human player than I am. But, I'm more used to playing as the human, so I'm just gonna stick with that. And Interceptor reaches level 5. You probably want to be about level 5 before you progress into Bug Muck, which is where we're headed next. But, in the meantime, I'm perfectly content to just sit here and kick ass on these, whatever you call these guys, these ostrich flamingo-looking dudes. I'm not sure, like, what exactly the... I keep wanting to say the gold drops, but... like, I know that's not it. Wow. Got some clay. Bam. Man, I love that. 7 talons, yeah, I can't complain about that. There's some bushes up here. I wish we could cut through these, but we really can't. So, too bad. I think we've done enough explaining for one day. I want to check something out. Okay, needed 19. Just want to see how much experience these guys give. It's something worth noting. Well, okay, they must give a lot because I just gained a level. Jeez. I was expecting like 10 or 7 or 12. And apparently it's 19 or above, whatever it is. I'd like to see what kind of money they drop too, though. You'll notice a lot of times that enemies respawn just by walking. Well, they're not doing it now, but it seems like they do it a lot more later in the game. They just respawn from you walking less than a screen away. Because normally, like, you have to zone out totally and then walk back in, you know, to make enemies respawn. But in this game, there seems to be like an extra queue of enemies or something that is just lying in wait. Because there can only be so many enemies on the screen. So a lot of times you'll walk to where an enemy's supposed to be and he won't be there because he can't show up because there's only allowed to be so many enemies on the screen. So once you've killed those enemies and you walk back over that spot where that original enemy was supposed to be, he will be there the second time, and that's what causes them to seemingly respawn so much. Because, like, there's probably supposed to be another bird here. Or something, but I don't know. I'm just explaining stupid mechanics. I hope this doesn't seem too boring. Because I'm getting the feeling right now that we've kind of started to overkill this a little bit. Like, maybe we should try making some progress here or something. But this is how I play it early on. Because it just feels good to... It feels good to feel safe. If that makes any sense. And you can never be too safe. Especially, like, going through these... you know, these long stretches of the game where there's no place to heal. And all you're doing is fighting monsters for a really long period of time. See, there's a bird right there that probably should have spawned earlier, but he probably couldn't. Because there were too many enemies on the screen, so now he's there. And, man, okay, well, let's at least try and make a little progress here. Well, I mean, we made some early in the video. Whoops. I just got sucked in. What could this be? Wow, I thought a little sand in the shoes was irritating. Actually, you're supposed to do this, though, because of this guy here. Slow creatures easily fall prey to the sucking sand whirlpools. You need the speed of the Jaguar. Sounds like a good alternative to being soaked in sand. I can provide you with the Jaguar Tooth Ring. It gives the wearer the ability to run with the speed of the fastest feline. And it's free with any purchase today only. Alright. Well, what do we buy? Petals times 1 pixie dust. Okay. I should probably explain these items. Petals heal for 40. Nectar heals for 120. Essence, I think, brings you back to life. I'm not actually sure. It's either Essence or Pixie Dust heals status ailments. And then the Dog Biscuit brings the dog back to life. Oh, sorry, I meant to buy something. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's just get a petal for now. Actually, I have 339 talons. I didn't realize I had that much money. And we get the Jaguar ring, which originally in Secret of Mana you had this ability from the beginning of the game. But in this game, you have to buy an item to do it. But now we can press A to run really fast. So, yay on that. So, let's get out of here. And now, whenever we run, we can just pretty much bypass these stupid holes. Well, since I have so much money, I'm probably going to run back. Like Jack McCoy said in Invasion of the Mole People, stay focused and watch your step. Or as Han Solo in Star Wars would say, watch your mouth, kid, or you're going to find yourself floating home. Maybe I can just make a Han Solo quote every time he makes one of the movie quotes. Probably know Han Solo quotes better than any other movie quote. I probably quote him more than any other movie person, actually. Okay, so enough of this fighting needlessly. I want to see how much money these guys give. 369 and 399. So they give you 15. I killed 2 of them, but I went up by 30. So 15's not bad, though. 15's a good age, too, to be. I wish I was 15 again. Of course, if I was 15, this game wouldn't exist, so I kind of can't really say that. Whoa! These guys will take you by surprise, dude. I'll tell you what. It's really easy to die in Bugmuck, though, and that's why I'm doing this. I'm sorry if it seems like this is a little excessive, but I'm just doing it because I don't feel safe. Sure, okay, we're gonna get a little more wax, a little more oil. The spell actually costs 2 oil for every 1 wax, so we want more oil than we do wax. So that's good there, that gives us 9 castings of the spell. Which should be enough to level it up. Of course, we've leveled up ourselves, which in turn makes the spell more powerful too. Not by much, but... But as you can see, casting the spell is really easy. Doesn't take a lot of time, you don't have to wait for elemental animations or any of that. You pretty much just stand here and let it rip. But as you can see, we're burning through those ingredients pretty fast. So now we only have 3 castings left. Which seems like, why would you cast the spell that many times when you only get that much damage out of it? But the idea is I want to level it up, because you get a lot more damage out of it after it levels up. For instance. Yeah, 25, that's better. But there you go, just like that we burned through 400 talons worth of ingredients. So, but now, but see, by doing that we also gained some talons back from the monsters we killed. It's not much, but you'll get to a point where casting the spell will make your money back for you. Especially if you target the right monsters. Some monsters will give you, like there's a certain area later where monsters, there's like 2 specific ones, and one gives a lot of gold and the other gives a lot of XP. So you just go after the one that gives a lot of gold, and you end up helping yourself out. Anyway, I feel like this episode must be a half-hour long right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, and maybe grind a little bit off-screen, do a little more of this. Just because I want to. Once again, I'm sorry if it seems a little excessive, but I just don't want to end up like last time and find myself, you know, struggling just to survive. So, whatever. Anyway, that's it for now. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time on Let's Play Secret of Evermore. Yeah, bye.